So after you left Kentucky, I did so good while you were here. Don't clap too soon, because after you left, I wasn't so good.
We were bad together.
We were
bad together apart.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So probably in the 2 weeks that you were gone, I fasted maybe a day or two, and those fasts weren't any longer than 24 hours. I did during the times when I was eating, I didn't eat as much as I used to, because I just wasn't as hungry. And I made good choices 90% of the time, mostly because I don't have bad choices in the house.
Yay!
There was one exception to that, which is I went to the zoo with my son and his girlfriend and her nephew this past Sunday, and it was really hot. We went at 10 o'clock in the morning, like as soon as they opened, but it was still really hot. And when I left, I was very dehydrated. I drank a lot of water, but I also really wanted some ice cream. So I
Ice
got
cream
some
on a hot day.
Yeah, but then I stepped on the phone, and I didn't just get ice cream. I got a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of a warmed up brownie. It was so good.
I bet.
But I know it was so the wrong choice. And
you know, good and so bad.
Yeah, at the same time. And Lori and I talked about this a little before we started recording this. I knew when I did it that it was a bad choice. And I even knew that the justification I was using, which was, I'm really hot, So the ice cream's fine. I even knew that was a horrible rationalization. I could go home and drink ice water, or I could go home and have some cold strawberries or something. But no, I had ice cream and a brownie.
We all do it.
Yeah. So I stepped on the phone. And another thing that, like, I was in denial with myself or something is those 2 weeks that I was so bad, I didn't feel good. Right? The achiness was back. My stomach bothered me a lot more. I was like queasy now and then.
Oh.
My sleep has been horrible. The hip pain is back. The brain fog is back. But and I knew why I was feeling that way, but I kept doing it anyway. And I think I learned from that. And I don't know, I probably overthink these things. I try to figure out why do I feel horrible, and I know why, but I don't fix the why. But if I have to tell Lori, hey, I had brownie and an ice cream yesterday, I would get right back on track.
Yeah.
But when it's just me, it's not enough that I feel bad. That wasn't enough to motivate me to get back on track. And, it's something I've seen Dr. Fung talk about in some of his videos is, people think if I just have enough willpower, with the calorie restriction people try that almost never works long term. If I just have enough willpower, I'll lose the weight. But sometimes, I was telling Lori, I got up every day and said, today's the day I get back on track.
Yep.
But that wasn't enough for me. I need that accountability. We talk about support systems, right?
Fat buddies.
Right, fat buddies, yes. And when that was gone, I got off track. And now that that's back, I'm getting back on track. Now that my fat buddy's back.
Yay! And I find it so interesting that it would be so easy to lie to each other.
Right.
If you had not told me you had that brownie and ice cream.
Exactly.
But for whatever reason.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So you're perfectly, accountability is a perfect word,
Yeah. I can lie to myself. I can be in total denial and know that I'm in denial. I did not step on the scale in those 2 weeks because I was terrified of what it would say,
It would be lying.
and even before I started fasting, if I walk by a mirror somewhere, I don't look in the mirror. I've done that for years because I know what my body looks like and I'm not real happy about it. So I
Yeah.
avoid mirrors, and that's the whole denial thing too, because literally to look in the mirror is to face the truth. This is what you really look like, right?
Right.
So if you avoid the mirror, you're avoiding just, this is what it is. So I went through that whole unhealthy, physically and mentally unhealthy thing the last couple of weeks. So
I have heard a couple of people have said that they put a mirror or a picture of themselves on their refrigerator door.
ooh, oh, because when you open it to get that special treat, you
Yeah,
see,
well, I mean, you and I have purged our kitchens, but
right,
for the people that, maybe have people at home that aren't working with them on fasting, they would at least reach for the door and see
Yeah.
their reflection and go, oh no, not gonna do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad one, not a bad one.
So another thing that I thought about because I was so bad while you were gone is when you had a couple of camping trips in the
Mhm.
last couple of months, and there was that one where I think you gained 5 pounds while you were gone, and we worked on figuring out what it was, and we did figure it out. But then the next time you went camping, you literally texted me every single time you ate, and I mean every single time. If it was, I just had a bite of something, you texted me, right? So next time you go out of town, I'm going to do that with you. I'm not the one on vacation, but I'm still going to be struggling,
Yeah,
right?
I'll be
So
there for
even
you.
though you're not, uh, whatever, a Zoom call away, I can still
Right.
text you
Yes.
and tell you, here's what I'm eating. And apparently I have a much harder time lying to you than I do in lying to myself. So I will tell you everything that I eat.
I think that's a
And
great idea.
yeah, and I want you, if I say, Lori, I went to the ice cream store and I had vanilla ice cream and a brownie, to say, okay, it's in the past, but you're back on track right now.
Now, should you text me after you eat it or when you're thinking about
Ooh, I
eating
should
it?
text you when I'm thinking about it. Good point.
So something I do when I am wanting now it wouldn't have worked for you at the zoo, but and in changing how I eat, I miss savory foods. I miss
Mm,
crunchy, chippy
yeah.
things, not so much sweet things. But sometimes I do get a craving for something sweet. So I will probably say, instead of that brownie, eat a tablespoon of raisins.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I want a
Yeah.
sweet bite. I just,
Yeah.
well, it usually fixes it, but we'll figure it out.
Or a spoonful of peanut butter.
No peanut butter in the house. No peanut
No.
butter in the house. Oh, I love
What's
peanut
even
butter.
worse is the peanut butter because, Josh, of course, isn't, I was going to say he isn't counting calories. He is, but he's trying to get more calories because he wants to gain weight. I know.
I remember
But the
those
peanut
days.
butter we get is peanut butter with honey in it. So, yeah, that's even worse than regular peanut butter.
That Joshua. Good
I
thing I
know.
like him. Love that kid.
So,
Love both of your kids.
yeah, thank you. I love your kids too.
Yeah.
So that'll be the plan in the future.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's also a good reason, like we've talked about our circle that we have on the Life Fasting app.
Yes.
For people who don't have a sister they can text who is supportive of their fasting endeavors, it's a good place to get support. We'll be your support group, right?
We'll be your stepsisters.
There you go. There you go. We'll be your adopted sisters.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think that's one of the big benefits of the circles on the life fasting app, well, and of the life fasting app in general,
Yeah.
is the ability to have those circles and be accountable to other people, and share your experience, especially if you don't have other people that you live with or that you're close to that are supporting your fasting.
Yeah. So the life fasting circle, or they can contact us through what Instagram has messaging and Facebook has
Yeah.
messaging and our website has messaging. So you can reach out to us and
Yeah.
confess your food sins, and we will be there for you. And talking about a support group, Steve and I keep pointing because we share space now. Steve and I have talked so many times about how good it is, how easy it is to be in the house with somebody that you're doing it together and not counterproductive. So,
Oh, yeah.
it's easy for me to not have the peanut butter and honey in the kitchen because, Steve is losing weight and getting healthier too. Whereas you've got a kid trying to gain weight a healthy way,
Right.
but it's still food that,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we're here. We're here. We're here.
We're here for you.
We are here for you.
To get myself back on track this time, I started fasting about 8 o'clock last night. I forgot to hit my fasting thing. Sorry, in
Oh,
my in my fasting app. It's another habit I've gotten out of. But I know what I was watching on TV, so I know it was about 8 o'clock when I started fasting last night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to at least 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because that'll be 36 hours. But if at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning I'm not hungry, then I'll keep going. So I'll do at least 36 hours to get back on track. And
yeah.
what I'd like to do the rest of the week is do rolling 36s, meaning I do 36 hours, then I eat forever, however long it takes me to get full, and then I do 36 more hours. Rolling 36s seem to really work good for me. So I did not give you my weight update since you left.
Oh.
So
Do you want me to turn away? Do you want me to not look at you?
no, it's all right. So, well, I got down to 188.8 a few days before you left. And then I think I was up to like 191. And then I went back down to like 190. And the highest I got to was 195.6, I think. So not terrible.
Not terrible.
Probably because I wasn't eating as much and I was mostly eating healthy. If I had gone back to eating like I used to, it would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you said 90% of the time you made healthy choices. So
Yeah.
you didn't. That's not bad.
Yeah. So I've just got like 6 pounds to get off. And if I do the rolling 36s, I feel like I could probably do that in a week.
Yeah.
Because again, most of what I've gained isn't fat. It's water, it's inflammation, stuff
It's a
like
brownie.
that. Hush.
Mine are mojitos. So
that's true.
So are you going to, and I know in the past you had a bigger eating window.
Yeah.
Are you going to are you going to keep your eating window small and low carb, or?
Definitely low carb, because that makes a huge difference for me.
Yeah. I know how Steve and I do it with OMAD, like me saying, I just have a bazillion prep salads in the refrigerator. We're happy eating salads, but I know most people are like, I cannot eat the same thing day after day after day. So that's one of the main reasons I'm asking, because I know we're having salads every day, but we can do that.
Yeah. So one thing I've learned about what I eat during my eating window is, yes, definitely low carb makes a huge difference, not just in my weight, but in how I feel during my fast.
Yeah.
It is so much harder if I've eaten a lot of carbs during my eating window. But the second thing is protein is really helpful for me too. Protein, it keeps you full longer.
Yeah.
So I try to focus on high protein, low carb. But then I do try to just for the fiber and the nutrients, try to get in some veggies, if I'm able to.
Yeah.
I probably will keep my eating window small And the only reason I hesitate at all on that is the whole reflux thing. If I'm feeling it when it's time to eat, you know, I might give myself more time to eat just to help that, if that makes any sense.
So you're not cramming it all in one
Right,
thing? Okay.
right. But I don't know. I'll have to think about that because we also talked, it might have been our last episode, about last time I fasted. At some point, I did quit because of the reflux.
Yeah.
Because it got so bad and I just couldn't stand it. So, but this time, instead of quitting fasting, I'm going to try to just figure out how to deal with it.
Right.
I'm not saying to live with the reflux, but to treat it, to manage it.
Right.
And right now I am on Prilosec, which is amazing for me, but I don't want to stay on forever. So probably as long as I'm on the Prilosec, the short eating window will work. But even once I go off it, there's other things you can do to try to manage the reflux. So
Yeah.
long drawn out answer to your question
That's fine. That's fine.
is that
It was all informative. So
I'll
at
try
least
to
you were
keep.
saying something when you were talking.
I do know people who talk a lot but don't really say anything, right?
Yes. One person just popped into my head.
So yeah, I'll keep my eating window small and I'll focus on low carb and high protein.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. Do you keep prepped stuff in your refrigerator? Like me with the salads, do you do that?
So,
So.
one of the things is it is just me mostly.
Yeah.
Because Josh and I eat very different things. So if I prepped a whole bunch of salads, half of them might go bad before they all get eaten. But I do I have a rotisserie chicken in the fridge that I'm going to make chicken salad with because I love chicken salad.
Me too.
And like last week, I did make a big batch of, I guess it's actually chicken broth, not bone broth. So
we had a whole discussion one
Yeah.
time. If y'all are wondering what we're giggling about.
Yeah. Technically, if it has anything but bones, then it's not bone broth. So, I do a little, but probably not to the extent
Okay.
that you do.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also wanted to mention that while you were, actually, I think this was after you got home, I wasn't looking for this, but I just look for Jason Fung videos from time to time. And I ran across one that he has that's specifically about how to lose weight that you gained on vacation.
Yeah.
And we should.
Am I doing it wrong?
You're not doing it wrong if it's working for you. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and it's working for you. I was trying to remember all the things he said. I feel like there were 3 things, but I can't remember them all. But one was, if you get home on a Thursday, don't say, I'll get back on track Monday. Get back on track Friday. Don't wait. Because the sooner, how do I say this? The closer your efforts to get it off are to your bad time, the easier it is to get it off, right? So if you let it sit there for a few days, it's going to be a little harder to get it off than if you just started right away.
Yeah, and we did. Other than having Chinese delivery the night we got home, we did start the very next day.
Right. Right. And then the second thing he said, which I think is different from what you all are doing, because I think you're doing OMAD, which is working for you. But the other thing he suggested is doing a longer fast in the beginning, because that tends to get, it gets that insulin level down for a longer period of time, which makes your body go to the fat quicker. And I can't remember I feel like there was a third thing and I can't remember what it was, but we'll put the link to that video below this too, so people can check that out if they want to.
And so far as the longer fast, had I probably two things. If I had gained more than 11 pounds,
Yeah,
I probably would have thought about doing a longer fast, or
Yeah.
if I wasn't losing so much so fast. I mean, I'm down
definitely.
4.9 in 4 days. I'm like, "Pfft, that's working."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, it's like I think we've said before, which is, educate yourself, watch videos, read books, listen to us, but then figure out what works for you, right? Because
yeah,
even Lori and I do it different,
we do.
but it works. Her way works for her, my way works for me. So you just got to find what works for you.
Yeah, we both have great results. So
Yeah.
yeah, find your thing.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right. You do you.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? Are we wrapping it?
I think we're wrapping it.
All right. Well, we'll get back in the swing of things now that everybody is home and landed and where they're supposed to be. All right. So we will see everybody and hear everybody, whether it's listening to a podcast or watching us on YouTube next week.
Yes. Yeah,
And I will probably do a really easy short video sometime in the next 3 days on how to make a salad.
Step one, chop the lettuce.
Nope, I don't even have to do that.
Oh,
I don't
that's
even
true, you
grill
take it
my
out of the
own
container.
chicken. So
Yeah.
just another easy video on having grab and go food. So
Yeah. All right.
that's it.
That's it.
All right. See everybody later. Happy fasting.
Bye bye.